Hello everybody, it's me Scoop, and god damn it, I love Regular Show so much. Now what I thought was just childhood nostalgia, I've recently discovered to be genuine love of the game. I've been revisiting the first 2 seasons of Regular Show specifically, and I really do appreciate what JG Quintel and the rest of the team were able to achieve in such short 10-minute episodes. Just the general overall quality has really blown me away. I've been laughing at a lot of the jokes, even when I have the punchlines completely memorized.
Overruled! Overruled, Judge? Or is it overcooled? Can you read that back to me?
Overruled, Judge. Or is it overcooled?
The soundtrack, even more of a banger than I remembered. The montages that they use in almost every episode, they don't get old, bro. They're fire every time. Makes it feel like a real journey. Moral of the story is, Regular Show is fantastic. However, a review of Regular Show is not why you clicked on this video. I know why you clicked on this video. I'm not going to stall. I'm not going to hold you up. Could the Regular Show crew beat Conquest? Now, Invincible is another one of my all-time favorite shows, actually. I thought Season 3 overall was honestly a little uneven. The 3-episode premiere was fantastic, full stop. It kind of proves why Captain America Civil War was a little bit mid, considering how heavily people were debating Mark versus Cecil. It was a genuinely interesting debate with good points on both sides, and also a lot of really bad points on both sides. Let's be honest, they both could have de-escalated that. But, you know, the middle of the season was definitely pretty uneven. It was just a little bit boring, and I kind of just got sick of seeing Mark get his ass handed to him on a silver platter by every villain he came across, especially once he got his thick-ass cheeks into that black and blue suit. I thought that was it. I thought bro was done pulling his punches. He was gonna lock in. But no, unfortunately, still got mollywopped almost every episode. That is, of course, until we got to that mind-blowing finale. My friends saw me watching it when I was visiting them because I just couldn't wait to watch it at night. I had to watch it first thing in the morning. They thought I was creaming my jeans at this finale, and you know what? They weren't wrong. The finale really did save the day, and I'm really looking forward to Season 4, where we know for a fact that Mark will no longer be pulling his punches, and I'm very excited to see that because it's well-deserved, and I think we just need that at this point. So, Regular Show versus Conquest, the second most powerful Viltrumite in the universe, behind none other than Emperor Thrag, probably the most sadistic Viltrumite, if not creature in the universe. Could the Regular Show crew take him down? So after rewatching the first 2 seasons of Regular Show, I was honestly most surprised by how powerful some of the guys they have to go up against actually are and the feats they manage to achieve here. I mean, some of these critters devolve into some real high-stakes battles. After the first 2 seasons, we have the Regular Show guys taking down the Destroyer of Worlds, the Hammer, escaping the clutches of the Night Owl, and learning the power of Death Kwon Do. Incredibly solid feats. However, Conquest is, well,
Big-ass beatdown coming up! Why do birds suddenly appear?
He's Conquest. He could create a windstorm just by stopping flying fast enough. He can punch Mark in the face and hold him back so Mark doesn't go flying and instead creates a shockwave shattering hundreds of windows. I mean, he's a powerful fella. I think the most powerful feat we see from him in the episode is probably this shot right here, where with some good momentum behind his punch, he basically manages to level a whole city within a single hit. So, you know, definitely not small potatoes that the Regular Show crew has to contend with here. So I think the real question we have to ask is, can Conquest one-shot the Regular Show crew? Maybe not all of them at once with one shot, but individually would he one-shot all of them? And I'm very tempted to say yes, because, well, obviously. However, there may be a bit of lore faded from our memories, a reveal that has been forgotten to the depths of time. For those of you who didn't actually watch Regular Show's final season, Season 8, In Space, or just kind of checked out because, let's be honest, most of the season was just kind of mid. The show is definitely running out of steam at this point outside of the finale. You may forget that Pops was actually revealed to be the most ancient being in the universe, a being of pure good who's destined to battle his opposite for the fate of the entire universe. Anti-Pops. It's basically revealed that he has the powers of Adam, Eve, and then some, and I think a Conquest versus Pops fight would actually be kind of interesting because the main move that we see from Anti-Pops is his deletion blast that breaks the universe down from animation to storyboard into, I guess, nothing. And so Pops usually just ends up having to rely on whatever the opposite of that blast is called. So having him go up against a figure like Conquest, who's just really strong and genuinely out for blood, would kind of be a good test of Pop's actual feats of strength. But given that in the Invincible Season 3 finale, Adam Eve really does most of the damage to Conquest with that Insano-style blast, and Pop's is at Adam Eve's level, if not significantly higher, I think it's pretty safe to say Pops would win this 1v1. So if we take that, yes, regular show can beat Conquest in a fight. However, that seems a bit cheap, right? We want to count our GOATs, our absolute legendary gentlemen Mordecai and Rigby in this battle, if not the entire rest of the regular show crew. Could they do anything in this battle? And once again, while I'm tempted to say no, it's not as clear-cut as you might think. We've seen Mordecai and Rigby tank some pretty powerful blasts, okay? A giant anime-ass explosion usually just leaves them a little dusted, a little dirty, but they can get back up pretty easily from all that. In my studies, it seems that their most powerful feat actually comes from the Season 1 episode Grilled Cheese Deluxe, in which Mordecai and Rigby lie about being astronauts in order to cut the line at Cheezer's and buy a Grilled Cheese Deluxe. In so doing, they enter a bet to figure out who the better liar is, and end up destabilizing an antimatter nucleus and must enter the chamber in order to stabilize it. Most normal regular show plotline. While inside the chamber, Mordecai and Rigby actually tank a blast of antimatter and do manage to stabilize the anti-nucleus. For those of you wondering, antimatter is, well, it's pretty powerful stuff. It kind of wiped out the entire goddamn DC universe. So, we've discovered Mordecai and Rigby can actually solo the DC universe. Wasn't expecting to figure that out in this video, but here we are. Not only can they tank a blast of antimatter, but through the power of Death Kwon Do, Mordecai can essentially negate all damage using the Death Block, and I would go as far to say that Rigby's Death Punch is probably about as powerful as a punch from Invincible, if not maybe just a little bit weaker. So I think the issue would be between Mordecai and Rigby utilizing the powers of Death Kwon Do, that their stamina simply would not be up to the task. While they may be able to consume a 20-foot sub in one sitting, I just don't think even with flawless execution, Mordecai will be able to block enough hits and Rigby will be able to deal enough damage to take Conquest down before he runs out of stamina as a 1,000-year-old Viltrumite. However, if we can bring in Mordecai and Rigby's tools from over the years, they definitely stand a much better chance. Even from just the very first episode of the show, The Power, Mordecai and Rigby could, well, use the power and take down Conquest. It's basically a free win button. Just sing a little jam about him getting thrown into the heart of the sun or whatever, and bing bang boom, there you go, W. I think if they relied on the baby duck mech, specifically the one from the finale, which is its most powerful form, it would be a pretty tight battle with Conquest. I do think Conquest might actually be able to come out on top here, because unfortunately the duck mech does not have a mullet and thus is unable to access the powers of Death Kwon Do. We can't say for certain, but I would have to give that one to Conquest.
Hello everybody, Editor Scoop here. Actually, the duck mech does in fact have a mullet, so that means it is technically capable of accessing the powers of Death Kwon Do, and thus would probably whoop Conquest's ass. This battle is not going too well in Conquest's favor, and I'm genuinely shocked about it, I can't even lie. And I wrote the video.
If the fight were to take place in the park, however, they could access the Book of Park Records and simply write a story of how they defeated Conquest, and it could be over that easily. So to finish this discussion off, I think the most fun thing to do would be to take a genuine look at the full park crew at maximum strength and see if they actually would stand any chance against Conquest. No baby ducks involved, no random one-offs like the power or making Conquest finish the excellent challenge just to trick him into picking the wrong hat, Jonathan Kimball style. None of that. Just our GOATs versus Conquest. Starting off our roster, we're of course going to have the two legends themselves, Mordecai and Rigby, rocking the unstoppable combo of mullets and cutoff jean shorts in order to be able to access the powers of Death Kwon Do. Next up, we have Skips rocking the Fists of Justice. Then, we have Benson holding all of his anger until he goes absolutely Super Saiyan style and releases an anger blast on Conquest. This could be Adam Eve levels of powerful. No way to say for certain, but I think this would definitely do major damage, if not knock Conquest on his ass for a decent period of time for the other guys to do some damage. Fourth, we have Muscle Man. I don't really think there's anything we need to add to Muscle Man because from what I've seen from the show, the angrier he gets, the more he kind of acts like the Hulk, and I think at a certain level, he basically just becomes indestructible. So I think if Conquest just threatens Starla, which He obviously would. I mean, Conquest is an absolute menace in that way. Muscle Man would take care of this guy pretty much no problem and be able to help out the rest of the team. Then lastly, we have High Five Ghost, who unfortunately I can't recall any moments of him going Insano style on a bad guy for an episode. He 100% gets the least amount of screen time or protagonist energy out of any of the park crew, so I just don't really think there's anything to kid him out with to be part of our roster here. I don't know, maybe he's just there for emotional support or to distract Conquest to give the rest of the park crew time to outwit him. The park crew could also sig a bunch of Jinx monsters on Conquest to sort of act like Reanimen and just keep him distracted and do a little extra damage, even if I don't think these Jinx monsters are going to turn the tide of the battle or anything like that. So I think with the crew at full power like this, it would be a tough battle, but with enough 80s music blasting in the background, they could probably pull this off. It would be a tight fight battle. No clear victor here in my opinion, which is a little unfortunate, but I do think through the power of plot armor, we could give this to the regular show crew pretty easily. If you want to add Pops to this roster, he might be too powerful. We might have to ban him from the game, but if Pops was on this roster, then regular show solos Conquest, no diff. So, this video was definitely a bit of a departure from my usual affair on this channel. If you enjoyed, I really appreciate it. I mean, this was a lot of fun. It was basically the equivalent of a shitpost on my part, but I really enjoyed it because I just enjoyed talking about both of these shows, so getting to dig into the ridiculous lore of regular show was really a lot of fun. If you want to hear a more detailed review of regular show as a whole, drop a comment down below and let me know. I'd love to make that video anyway. That would just serve as a little extra motivation for me. Maybe I'd get to it a little quicker on top of all my schoolwork. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you enjoyed it even more than that, drop a subscription. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to give regular show a little extra love today, and keep it crispy.